Honestly, man, yeah, it's time to get worried right now. Like, it's really time to get worried. I feel sad. I feel sad because at least today I saw a performance that was 10x anything I saw against Brian. You know, we couldn't even put shots on target or create nothing against Brian. Today, we had numerous opportunities. We surprised even ourselves by scoring with an early goal, courtesy of Enzo Fernandez. I felt like Maresca with the blueprint today, considering the limitations of the squad, the injuries we're seeing to players, you know, the bench, the lack of depth we have. The only seniors on the bench, Tosin, Sancho, Dewsbury Hall. The rest is Muweka, George, and all these other young guys that realistically you're not going to be turning towards, and you shouldn't be turning towards in a game of this magnitude and this pressure and this occasion. And when I see stuff like this, when I see the fact that this game was on a knife's edge for either team, we exploited Villa's weaknesses, they exploited ours, but in the end, it felt like Villa had enough to sneak the win, and that's because of the depth they had near the end. When you're making a triple sub, when you're bringing on guys like your Marlins and your Rashfords and your Leon Baileys, and all we can do is react to that by bringing on Sancho, and we got no one else. Like, you're asking for issues near the end. You're asking for them. And I'm always going to say this. I've been very consistent. I'm going to keep on being consistent. But these directors, you know, if you have let the team down. You're letting the team down. Your lack of action in January, this was so key for us because our entire season has become a gamble. And it's become a gamble on keeping players fit, on key players never being injured. That is such a risky gamble to play with and take. And at the moment now, we're looking thin, we're looking weak. And it's worrying because even when the players can compete, it's still not enough. Let's keep it honest, it is still not enough. And the manner in which we lose the game, Jorgensen, who was actually looking okay in this game, like Jorgensen was looking okay. Some of the big saves he made, man, against like Watkins at the near post in the first half. 2 shots from him, a shot from Rashford, from the set pieces as well. To make that mistake, to have that howler near the end, it's just like, what can the manager really do realistically? Yeah, people crying for Sanchez to be out the team. We have Jorgensen, and realistically, he's not even really ready. So where is the real issue? What is that being communicated? It's the decision making from the top that you're constantly putting us in this situation with the team where there isn't enough quality where we need it. And this is the difference, yeah? Like, this should have been a guaranteed 1 point. This was a guaranteed 1 point, if anything. We had moments to try and sneak it, but if anything, if you're leaving this game today at Villa Park, you're leaving it with 1 point, with 1 point. And the fact that we blew that by ourselves, it sums up everything. It sums up how good we are as a team, but it sums up how good we are as an organisation. And I'm sorry, the serious clubs, look at Aston Villa, look at them. What did they do in the market? They backed Unai Emery. They supported, they bought players for Unai Emery. And did they not make the flipping difference today? Asensio, 2 goals. Marcus Rashford. This is what I've been crying out the entire time before the window even opened. This is how you have to address the team. This is how you have to strengthen. This is how you have to safeguard our position we have this season, because teams are going to be coming thick and fast now for them final CL spots here. And what did we do to help us? What did we do? You know, what did we do to help our manager and the team safeguard that position? Yeah. And today, yet again, we leave here with no result. 2 wins in our last 10 appearances with a squad that has barely anyone left. It's worrying. And for me, I'm just worried more about what the future holds, because I think it's even worse when you play well and you still lose. I mean, did you guys see the reaction of Enzo Fernandez captured on the camera afterwards? He was looking frustrated. He was looking angry. He was looking upset. And it's a shame because, you know, let's talk about the game now. There were moments for prosperity. I mean, the way we started the game was a strong start. Enzo Fernandez getting the goal. I think one of the key decisions that gave us an opportunity to do something against Aston Villa. but being humble, was Pedro Neto playing up front. That was a big decision from Enzo Maresca. That was a key decision from Enzo Maresca, because Neto wasn't playing false nine, he played as a striker. And Neto was making runs in behind the spaces left by Aston Villa's fullbacks, in between their defences. He was an outlet on the left side, an outlet essentially, and an outlet down the right-hand side. Lots of key passes. He gets the first assist for Enzo Fernandez with great play. And you think to yourself, this is looking promising, because with Pedro Neto, the key thing he introduced for us was the ability to press high, which is something we could not do against Brighton in our last 2 games. We have to press high. As I said in my preview, if you want to have a fighting chance to get a result against Aston Villa, it was dependent on having a strong core centrally. You were going to have to see Reece James inverting alongside Moises. We saw that today. They gave us a platform. They allowed us to have a competitive chance to try and get a result in this game today. That can't be denied. And I think the smart choices then by Maresca, of course, to bring on Neto up front, that was key for us in terms of having pace in behind Aston Villa. But that also meant Nkunku and Cole Palmer played wides. And this was where tactically we were playing with fire. Because essentially it comes down to this. When you play against Aston Villa, they're one of the few teams in this league that throw their fullbacks forward. Ian Martin, especially second half, he was just bombing down that flank with confidence, endeavour. Same thing with Matty Cash. And essentially, their wide play was going to be the counter to our central play. For all the times we're breaking up play in the middle, kick-starting transitions, kick-starting counter-attacks, releasing Gusto out wide on the right, releasing Palmers, releasing Netos, Aston Villa were able to target us by releasing their fullbacks in behind us, by looking to play quickly to their strikers, by having Tielemans, who, as the game was going on, as we were getting more tired, was having more influence in terms of picking up the ball unmarked. This was the occasion of the game today. This was the tactical story. This was both teams playing fire against fire, with one decider coming at the end. And that decider was forever going to be dependent on players making it matter the most. If you're watching this and you think the manager could have done something to safeguard the lead or whatever, or make us win the game, you're not being realistic. You're not thinking about what you're seeing. You're not thinking about that. Maresca today gave us the best possibility to compete against Aston Villa. And give credit to this guy, because as I said in my preview, he won't make the same mistake twice. If he saw it didn't work twice against Brighton, he switched it up. He brought on Neto. We saw Reece James in midfield. We saw something that could have given us a fighting chance. And we did do that. And we made those moments. But this is where the negative stuff comes in right now. And those negatives are the players, man. I mean, those moments in this game today to make something happen. I think, which is a bit of a shame what I'm about to say. I think maybe one of the criminals of the game today, and I don't like even saying that words, because he isn't, and he's been top for us for a long time. But I might have to say Cole Palmer. I just think, sadly, in a game where the players had to do the rest and had to step up and win this, he had some big moments to secure it for us, man. Palmer had some big moments, and he was too selfish every single time. And that moment near the end, when he made that run in behind, I was one-on-one with the keeper and just was not ready to take the shot off. You know who I felt sorry for? I'm sure a lot of you guys might not have seen it. If you see the replays afterwards, it might make more sense. But I feel like Palmer's selfishness really hurt Nkunku today. Because you know why we was able to create things against Aston Villa? You guys remember the runs out wide from Neto and from Gusto and stuff, right? They came because there's a big distance of space between Aston Villa's centre-backs and their full-backs. Because if the full-backs are going forwards, getting high, what does that do? It leaves space in behind. And that's what he was targeting. And if you realise that most of the attacks was coming on the right-hand sides, that means that the left-hand sides had more possibilities to ghost in unmarked. And I think on 3 occasions, when I saw the replays too, when I saw the body language and reaction of Nkunku, 3 times he peeled off to receive a pass to take a shot off. He was not found once. And outside of Nkunku taking a curling effort outside the box, for the movement he's shown in this game today, to only have like one shot in this entire game, I think that is really poor. And it continues this thing that I've been noticing. I feel like Nkunku is lost in this team. He's lost in the system. The crucial stage last season where he could have had more time to familiarize himself with his teammates, he never got to have. And I feel like they just don't know how to play with him. It's not been the first one. There's been games this season where I think Neto, for the movement he's shown, he wasn't being found. And maybe at times the culprit can be maybe Cole Palmer being maybe a bit too selfish, wanting to be the talisman. And this is where the youthful inexperience comes in. Even though he's a world-class player, world-class player, the inexperience comes in these moments where if you weren't ready to take those shots, that effort one-on-one, that effort where he had a curling effort, but he didn't even get on target, which he should be. In a game like this, with the pressure against us, if you're deciding you're taking it for yourself, it's on target. And with someone of his quality, it has to be testing the keeper. And every time you're forcing these moments for yourself, you're denying your teammate. And, I felt for Nkunku. 2 times not played in by Cole Palmer. And the other one from Pedro Neto, who gets released in behind in the counter-attack. Nkunku peels off to the left-hand side, far post. Not found. And that's the difference between us not winning the game today or getting a result. Because Villa, during their moments where they, had to find a teammate and not be selfish, they did that. They did that. And that's why they got the result near the end. It's a massive shame, man. But it feels like we're in this situation by design. And we're in it because we did not have the foresight to properly plan or assess what was needed. And I'm stressing the difference today is that Unai Emery got backed by the boards and Maresca wasn't backed. And in a game like this, it would have been amazing to have quality coming off the bench. It would have been great if we had wingers even playing wides, because at least with the wingers, they'd be tracking the runs of Ian Martson and Matty Cash a lot better compared to what Nkunku and Cole Palmer can even do. Like even near the end for the winning goal for Aston Villa, Cole Palmer, obviously he's not supposed to be good defending, but very weak against Rashford, coming in unmarked yet again. It's like you're playing with fire, but it's like it's all we can do right now. I can't expect Cole Palmer and Nkunku to be world-class defensively. They're not going to turn into Park Ji-sung overnight and defend like that. You know what I mean? But it's just like, when you got Mueka and Tyree George and all these other youths on the bench, you got no one right now. It's a real sad loss for the team today, because I saw Enzo working hard. I thought Torsen came on, a lot of good clearances in key moments. I thought Caicedo and Reece gave us a platform. I thought Neto was excellent, live wire, really giving us some penetration. There's a lot of these guys today that tried. We can't act like they didn't, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where we go from here right now. I think it's not looking good. And as I'm saying, I feel like it's by design. If we start to fall off even harder, a lot of my issues are up here, because they didn't help when they should have done that. And this is my main fear. Are these guys big enough for a big club? Are your Winstonleys? Are your Lawrence Stewarts? Are they big enough for a big club? Instead of wasting January making moves for summer targets, that came at the expense of what the team flipping needs right now. And if we just had a bit more depth in a game like this today, this could have been a big difference for us. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to say, you guys. Share your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you all soon. Cool.